he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners.
For the past 3 years, Ukraine has been heavily relying on U.S. military aid since Russia's invasion in 2022. With ongoing battles in the east and no clear resolution in sight, President Zelenskyy traveled to Washington with a critical goal: securing continued American support. However, President Trump has been vocal about reassessing foreign aid, emphasizing the need for Ukraine to seek peace rather than continued conflict. Hello everyone, and welcome to Tenor. Today, we're diving into a major political showdown that has been making headlines around the world. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Zelenskyy intense meeting at the White House. What was supposed to be a discussion about military aid and a minerals deal quickly turned into an intense exchange that left both leaders frustrated. So, what went wrong? And what does this mean for the future of U.S. Ukraine relations? Let's break it down. The meeting was expected to cover two key issues: military assistance and a proposed mineral deal. The U.S. was reportedly offering Ukraine billions in additional aid, but wanted something in return: access to Ukraine's vast reserves of rare earth minerals. These minerals, essential for technology and defense industries, are a major point of interest for global powers, and the U.S. saw this as an opportunity to gain a strategic advantage. But things took a turn when the conversation shifted to Ukraine's refusal to make territorial concessions to Russia. According to reports, President Trump pressed Zelenskyy on pursuing peace talks, suggesting that Ukraine needed to be more flexible in negotiations. Zelenskyy, however, pushed back, arguing that conceding land to Russia was not an option. Trump, who has never been one to hold back, reportedly accused Zelenskyy of, quote, gambling with World War III by prolonging the conflict. Sources say that he was frustrated with what he called Ukraine's constant reliance on U.S. support, and at one point, the conversation became so heated that the White House staff had to step in. The tensions grew to the point that a planned joint press conference was abruptly canceled, further signaling how strained the talks had become. Vice President J.D. Vance also chimed in, questioning Zelenskyy's gratitude for American assistance. He emphasized that while U.S. has provided billions in weapons and funding, there needs to be an endgame. This sentiment has been growing among some American officials, who argued that the U.S. shouldn't be writing a, quote, blank check for Ukraine without clear progress towards peace. This meeting didn't just make waves in Washington. World leaders reacted quickly. European nations reaffirmed their commitment to support Ukraine, with some even criticizing Trump's approach. On the other hand, Russia saw this as a win, with Kremlin officials stating that the U.S. is, quote, finally realizing the need to negotiate. Zelenskyy, meanwhile, remains firm in his stance. He has repeatedly said that Ukraine will not negotiate from a position of weakness and that giving up territory would only encourage further aggression from Russia. He has also suggested that U.S. support is crucial, not just for Ukraine, but for global security. This meeting wasn't just a political disagreement. It could signal a major shift in global dynamics. For the past few years, Ukraine has relied on strong U.S. backing, but this tense exchange suggests that support may no longer be guaranteed. If Trump follows through on his hints of reducing aid, Ukraine may have to seek alternative allies, potentially looking more toward Europe for military and economic support. Meanwhile, Russia can see this as an opportunity to push harder, believing that U.S. patience with the war is running out. There's also the bigger picture to consider: how this impacts NATO and other global alliances. If Ukraine starts losing U.S. backing, European nations might feel pressured to step up, which could create divisions among NATO members. And if Trump's approach to foreign policy leads to a broader retreat from international conflicts, it could reshape America's role on the world stage, influencing everything from military strategy to economic partnerships. The Trump administration is focused on what he calls endless wars and prioritizing American interests. Some analysts believe that this meeting was a preview of a larger shift in U.S. foreign policy, one where Ukraine may no longer receive the same level of unconditional support as it once did. So what happens next? Ukraine is still fighting for survival, and this meeting has raised serious questions about how much longer the U.S. will remain its strongest ally. Will Zelenskyy find new sources of support? Will Trump follow through on his idea of cutting military aid? And how will this affect the war itself? So what do you think about this tense meeting? Should the U.S. continue supporting Ukraine, or is it time for a different approach? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the biggest global events. Also, make sure to check out some of my other videos like the biggest heist in human history and whether or not Canada could actually become the 51st state. Thanks for watching Tenor. I'll see you next time.